Are we actually objecting ourselves? Do we have to find a way to get rid of those objections so that we could actually build our business? Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the other 99%, every seller matters. Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of the Other 99%. Well, this is our first episode of 2025, and I was sitting here thinking about what can I come and talk to you guys about. And then I was listening to another podcast, and for the life of me, I can't remember which one because I'm a podcast junkie and I listen to all the things. One day I'm going to have to list out all of the podcasts that I listen to because they are all amazing. And I mean, when I'm doing monotonous things, I just sit there and I have podcasts in my ear. So I'm flooding my brain with information because, like I said, there's so many other podcasts out there that have such great information to share. But anyway, I was listening to this podcast and something she said in the podcast got me to think about, are we as direct sellers coming up with an objection to a sale or, someone joining our team in our head before we even ask? So what I'm saying is like, my customers don't want to pay shipping. So I'm not going to ask them if they want to direct ship their order. Or my customer will think that package is just way too much money. So I am not going to offer it to them. I'm going to offer them this lesser of a valued package just because I think my customer doesn't want this, or, I think my customers can't afford this. And I think too many times we put those objections into our brain and it affects our business. And we could even think about this on the business side. It's like, why would we ask a doctor to join our direct sales team? Because why would a doctor want to be a direct seller? And I know for a fact that there are many, many doctors out there, and their reasons are different for joining. They don't need the extra money, but they need something where they can have fun and the community is built. Just think about being a doctor. It's like, it's not, I don't want to say negative, but I mean, people go to them because they're having problems. Nobody ever goes to the doctor and says, "Hey, doc, I'm here just because I'm having a pleasant day and, I just wanted to come and say hi." Like, no, they get people at their worst. So, having a direct sales business, they're going and they're sharing the fun, they're seeing people at their best, they're seeing the giggles, the laughs, all the good things that they miss in their day job. So I just wanted to put it out there that, are we actually objecting ourselves? Do we have to find a way to come and get rid of those objections so that we could actually build our business? So how could we do this? Well, I mean, first is just ask. I mean, the one the one best thing that I did in my business, because when I first did my business, whether it was taught to me or whether I just did it, I don't know. I almost feel like it was like that is what I was shown to do, but I'm not putting the blame out on anyone by any means. But anyway, so when I first started my business, I delivered everything. Okay. And I'm talking about when I first went back and started this business. Yes, I mean, maybe direct ship wasn't a thing back 18 years ago. And I had a very short stay in Avon, if you guys don't know. And that was a very short stay because I just couldn't wrap my head around driving all over town, delivering things and making 50 cents. it just didn't make any sense to me. So my stay with Avon was very short. But when I look back at my other businesses, I always delivered. And the one thing that was very freeing and the best decision I made in my business was adding this phrase when anybody reached out to me to order. They would say, "Hey, Lisa, can I order this?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. Would you like that shipped direct to your door, or will you be picking that up at my house?" And that was the magic phrase. Sorry if my voice is very froggy today. I think I'm trying to avoid a cold. Please, 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 I don't need a cold. But anyway, getting back to my my topic of objections, and you know, I see it time and time again. There are consultants who put the first objection up, and I think we need to take us out of the equation. It's what's in it for them, what's in it for our customers. Don't prejudge the situation. Don't assume that they can't afford it. Don't assume they don't want it shipped right to their house for extra money, for an extra charge. Just stop assuming, because you know what, the saying, when you assume you make an out of you and me, the ASS word. I don't want to say it because then I would have to put there's explicit language in this, and there isn't really. Um, so yeah, so never assume, because it's just not going to grow your business. So ask the questions, be confident when you're asking the questions. And like I said, that phrase is golden. And if you want to steal my phrase, by all means, go ahead and steal my phrase. So it's like, I don't specifically spell out, oh, well, if you ship it to me, the shipping charges will be XYZ. And if you ship it to yourself, the shipping charges will be ABC. It's just, I take their order and I give them a total based on the response. And then they make the educated decision. If they do decide, if you have a customer who decides that, wow, that's a lot of money, like is the shipping high or something, just say, well, getting it shipped direct to your door is this much. If you want it to wait, because again, most of the time, in order for us to get reduced shipping, we have to have a larger order. So if you want to wait for me to gather a few orders, I usually put, and here's another tip, make it consistent. Make your customers know when you place group orders. So I usually place an order, a group order by the 10th and the 25th of the month. So today's the 11th. I just placed that order yesterday. If you're willing to wait till the 25th, then I could group it with some other orders and we could probably reduce that shipping amount. To me, that's not being of service to your customer, because somebody orders something on the 11th, now they have to wait until the 25th for that order to be placed. And then that means they're not going to get their order for another 7 to 10 business days, probably. But then it's coming to you. So then you have to unpack it, and then you have to package it, and then you have to either deliver it or they have to pick it up. Can you see how that gets complicated? Can you see how your product doesn't become one of convenience? And when a product isn't convenient for customers, they just stop using it. So in order for us to grow our business, we have to provide our customers with value, with service, with convenience. And that means that we need to stop the objections. I know that this may have gone on a rant about direct ship and whatnot. And anyway, guys, to end this podcast, I just want to say, in order to grow your business in 2025, I want you to focus on your customers and what's in it for your customers. What's the value for your customers? And start asking questions that way. Start to think about what they're going to get. Like, so in terms of what I was just talking about, like they're going to get their products faster. They're going to get the products that they want. They're going to get products that will help them achieve a goal that they want to achieve. So let's take us out of the equation in 2025. And when we're talking to our customers, make sure that you're talking to them and look at it from their point of view, and offer a solution to something that serves them best. I hope that you got a little bit of ahas or a few little tips out of this episode. And I appreciate you joining me on the first episode of 2025. And we will see you again next week. Take care, everyone. This episode of the Other 99% podcast has been brought to you by Spice It Up with Lisa Duck. If you're struggling with the question of what's for dinner, let Epicure help you put quick, delicious, family-friendly meals on the table in 20 minutes or less. Learn more about what Epicure has to offer. Visit spiceitupwithlisaduck.com. And if you're new to Epicure, be sure to use promo code EPIC15 in your cart at checkout for 15% off your entire first order. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would take a minute to rate and review the podcast, I would absolutely love it. And if you know someone who really needs to hear this podcast, please feel free to share it with them. More listeners, the better. And if you know someone who would like to be a guest on the podcast, or you yourself would like to be a guest, be sure to check the link in the show notes or visit lisaduck.com and click Be a Guest. We'll talk to you soon.